So we went into this program really to make our sales guys more efficient. The merchandisers were writing down on the back of an old piece of cardboard what things were out of stock on the shelf, and we realized they were throwing that away when they left the store. So we were trying to figure out a way to capture that data and transmit it to the sales reps. We talked Encompass into making that data available real time to our sales reps.
We met the people from Encompass 4 or 5 years ago, and were impressed, number one, with how agile they were, and number two, that they were actually beer distributors and understood our business. When we started this project, looking for a way that the merchandisers could do what they were good at and free the salesman up to spend his time selling to the decision maker in the accounts. Salespeople are our highest paid people and some of the most important people in the beer business, and we look at what their daily routine was, and they were spending most of their time, especially in our big key accounts, counting boxes and putting product on the shelf.
We took the big approach of looking at what we could do that made sense cost-wise, but also efficiency-wise. We sat down with them about a year ago and kind of outlined exactly what we're doing with our merchandising program and how their software could better, suit what we're doing and fit our needs. And we really wanted to create a standard that we thought fit best for not just for us, but all distributors that were using Encompass. And we talked about perpetual inventory, and even to the point where at some level, we could fill orders automatically if we wanted in the stores, or we can even have people back at the office, get that order synced and then make a decision based off, these numbers. Can create a new order without even being in the stores. We were able to justify the cost of buying iPhones and iPads, and the value in that is, you're looking at a $200 iPhone that is 10 times better than any other handheld that most distributors are using for $2,000, $3,000 based on what unit they're using. You're looking at a $30 a month data connection versus maybe an air card that used to be $60 a month. So it all adds up, and we're talking about dollars here, but in terms of like the savings and speed and efficiency, and from a management perspective, from technology, these things never go down. They're rock solid. And if my 2-year-old can use this thing, I would assume our salespeople can figure it out too.
We started with one merchandiser and one sales rep. We took one store and started there, and we tried it a couple weeks. Once we were comfortable there, we were able to move it across all our sales reps and merchandisers to all their chain supermarkets. The next step that we took was just, like I said, we rolled it out to all our employees, all our merchandisers and all our sales reps, and we were able to hit the ground running with it. It was a short training process to train our merchandisers and sales reps to understand how it was used and to actually put it in use. So it was very quick and easy.
The setup process in an average store takes about 45 minutes. Using an iPad and a scanner, we're able to scan in each SKU in the location it appears on the shelf. We're able to also do that at not only the cold shelf, but warm shelves and displays, along with the shelf capacity and its facings. Now, there's very little setup to a back room. There's no shelf sequence, there's no capacity. However, the system is designed so that only items that we currently have in the back room are available to see on your device. That speeds up the process. The merchandiser's not looking for items that are not there, and it makes it very quick.
The merchandiser becomes more effective, and just by counting the product on the shelf, he ends up generating his own pick list. So then he can go in the back room, and without having to generate his pick list like he was doing by hand, he can count the inventory in the back room while he's picking the product to go back on the shelf.
The time the merchandiser now takes in the store is equal to what they spent before we started this new process. There's virtually no time difference. As a sales rep gets the inventory into their handheld, that's where the true time savings come. It could take anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes away from that sales call. As soon as the merchandiser is done taking the inventory and finishes servicing the account, he syncs with our server back at the warehouse, and at that point it's available to anybody in our company. The sales rep will come in right after the merchandiser is done, sync with our server, and he has all the inventory in his handheld, ready to take an order.
I used to come to the store and I would write on the list, and then at the end I would throw it away. And now I come, I do it on my handheld, and everything stays there. This is faster because you come, you do it in your handheld, the shelves are organized for you, it's easier for you to count. It took me a couple days, but anybody could do it.
It takes me 10 to 15 minutes to write an order now compared to 30 to 45 minutes to write an order in the past. The process is very easy. It gives me more time to spend with the store manager, get the displays correct, try to get the competition off the floor. The process, it's not difficult at all.
In this system, our sales people are able to request a display of our merchandising department just through the actual system. Whereas in the past, we were using paper, trying to pass it through multiple departments to get it to the right person.
Everything that I punch in, case-wise, facings, is all exact. When the merchandiser sees that, builds the display, knows the location, there's no questions.
One of the biggest things I see in terms of a competitive advantage with knowing information is, what displays are selling well on the store floor. And that's valuable information that I think the store is tracking. Another one that I think is important is, how often do products get cut in the back room and then they become out of stock later that day or a couple days later. That would give us a lot of information to go back and forth with our stores and say, look, you're cutting us, but at the same time, we're out of stock on that specific product a day or two later. I mean, we're tracking every single inch of that store, and we know exactly what's there, how fast it's moving, what's out of stock, how many facings we have per area. There's no one doing that at a very effective, consistent daily basis.
In the past, we've had to use a third-party GPS system, handwritten notes, taking the merchandisers' say on what they say they stocked, what they said was out of stock, and trying to compile all this from 3 different areas. And now our supervisors get all that information in about a 15-minute time frame when it was taking an hour and a half to 2 hours previously. They can tell how many cases they're stocking at a particular store, what cases they are. We can click on a link and it shows us on a map where they are, how long they've been there. We also capture store manager signature on that, so it's kind of a one-stop and shop for our supervisors. Another surprise benefit was one of our major suppliers, that just so happens, is also looking for that information, and it seems to be a seamless process to send that information off to them as well.
We've started to find out that the sales guy was saving 20 minutes to stop by not having to count inventory on the shelf in the back room, and he could spend more time selling. Sometimes store management will assume that our guy's not there because our products are selling through so quickly, and we can prove to them what was put on the shelf and where he was and at what time.
Do we have enough shelf holding power? Some are, how are our displays performing in different parts of the store? We know we're filling this display 10 cases a day, 5 cases a day. If we had that display in a different location and it was selling 20 cases a day, hey, let's go after that location in the store. The efficiency we gained from our merchandisers isn't necessarily time the merchandisers spend in the store. It's flat. However, we've captured a ton of data that we used to throw away on a piece of paper. It gives management a ton of valuable information daily. We know in our major chain supermarkets our inventory levels every single day.
We now have an application that gives us reporting capabilities that we didn't dream of to even start with, and it's available to anybody who uses the Encompass software as part of their package.
And aside from our mounds of data we are now able to collect, we've seen over a 300% return on investment. I highly recommend this system to any beer distributor.